this one is gonna be a hard one to admit to you guys, but also it's gonna be really hard to admit to myself. But I'm really struggling with money, and I'll explain what that means. I was just listening to an audiobook right now about wealth mindsets. And I realized that despite growing up very rich and wealthy, I never developed that mindset. And that's really embarrassing for me. What I mean is, I grew up like really rich. I'm talking dad had a Ferrari, private jet, mansion, all of that, vacations, everything. And thank you, God, for such a beautiful childhood and a beautiful upbringing. And while I see myself still as a very hard worker, I have developed some bad mindsets around money. Like, I don't really know how to save. That's one thing that I realized, is that I am quick to spend. I'm like very YOLO with my money, and that is not the way to be. I need to learn how to put restrictions on myself, to restrain myself, to be disciplined. I have invested quite a bit, so it's like, but I don't actually know how to invest. I know to hand someone smarter than me money to invest. I don't know how to do it myself. And so a lot of education and discipline is needed on my end. And then like when it comes to like making passive income, like right now I'm going back to school to become a therapist. And that will essentially be selling my time for money. So when you come to a therapy session, I will sit down with you. We're going to work on, again, selling time for money. And I also need to learn how to do a better job of making passive income. And so this is just the type of things that I'm thinking. And I'm just realizing that like growing up, never having struggled could have really harmed me. And now in my 30s, I'm struggling to figure out how to course correct, how to correct my mindset. And that's why I'm starting with the mindset around wealth first, because I really need to learn how to think rich before anything else. And so I'm not second guessing being a therapist, right? Because even though I recognize that there's going to be an exchange of time and money, I also want to eventually create self-help programs online, books, things that again can lead to a little bit more passive income where I'm not selling time for money, and really build a brand around what I'm most passionate about: mental health, family, marriage, parenting, kids, social media, all of that. But again, doing so in a way where I actually can build wealth for myself and my family. So yeah, I'm kind of struggling. I'm a student right now. Income's not really there. I'm not really working full time. I'm working very minimally right now, as I focus on studying and education. And so it's just a weird time, but I think by having such open conversations around what I'm struggling with, what I'm working on, whether that be in school, outside of school, in my life, I'm going to be just sharing these conversations with you guys, as I always have, very openly. Talk to me about how you're doing financially. Are you where you want to be? What are your financial goals? What are you doing to get there? Let's inspire each other.